Deputy Speaker, this department exists to monitor and evaluate every level of government. Their staff evaluate government policies and actions, honing in on indicators like economic growth and employment, and they measure the government's performance against the National Development Plan of 2030 to see if we're getting anywhere. The NDP envisages an average annual GDP economic growth rate of 5.4%. This target would double the size of the economy, add 11 million new jobs, and drastically reduce the country's poverty and inequality levels by 2030. The NDP aims to lower the unemployment rate from 25% in 2012 to 6% by 2030. Where do we stand, Chair, as the DPME monitors our progress? Our unemployment rate is 32.7%, while its expanded rate, including discouraged job seekers, is 43%. Since 2000, the official rate has never dropped below 20%. The broader structural crisis leaves youth unemployment at 44%, expanded unemployment for the youth over 65%. What will happen to Generation Z as they grow older and remain jobless with no experience, our future mums and dads? Unemployment is a time bomb which we must defuse. The National Planning Commission states that South Africa should be investing 30% of its GDP in gross fixed capital formation to drive inclusive economic growth. But actual gross fixed capital formation is half of that, 15% of GDP. Vast amounts of capital are accumulating in the financial system without being invested in productive fixed assets. The National Planning Commission is appealing to business to unlock their capital and invest. So what will motivate South Africans to invest and take the 1 to 1.5 trillion rands shored up in savings accounts to start or grow a company? What will incentivize foreign companies to invest in South Africa, boosting employment? 1, profit and the prospect of growing wealth, and 2, the ease of doing business. Well, do our policies and laws help businesses or do they hinder them? Chair, the current economic growth rate of a mere 1% indicates that they hinder them. If a business owner employs 50 staff and there is a demand for her products so that she could triple the size of her company and employ 150 people, surely she would. But in South Africa, once she employs 51 people, she's subjected to all sorts of complex and restrictive regulations. She must part with 30% of the ownership of her business. Her management must be carefully structured, all while 100 people in places like my constituency in Khayelitsha are longing to join her company, even if it means starting at the bottom, working their way up into management as they gain skills and experience. So the businesswoman says to herself, firstly, I have to part with my wealth and ownership. Secondly, there's too much red tape. It's not worth it. I'll keep my company small, employ only 50 people and not the additional 100. And this story is multiplied around our country, explaining the 11 million jobless people. We see South Africans with genuinely good ideas go overseas and start up businesses in the UK and USA where there are less hoops to jump through. You see, every time you put in a barrier, it doesn't matter how well-intentioned and noble that is, you stifle the potential for economic and organic growth. Chair, I'm speaking up for my isiXhosa constituents in Khayelitsha, 100% black, 70% unemployed, and disempowered, longing for any job, even an EPWP job. But the ANC ward councillors keep those for their followers and acolytes. They are demoralized. They sit at home, excluded, unable to add value to society with their many talents, while the top politically connected and elite friends of the ANC share the spoils of 1 trillion rands between them, thanks to BBEE legislation. So does our legislation really empower most black people? Jobs are what empower people. To empower black people, enable them to get their first job. A few black people are jaw-droppingly rich, while the many are desperate for jobs. Bafuna ukusebenza. A few eat and eat and eat, and the many go hungry. The president tells us to hang our heads in shame, questioning his well-intentioned but failing policies. Should he not hang his head in shame, as BEE has created a politically connected elite living in eye-watering wealth while many black people go hungry? So if after monitoring our progress, the DPME finds we're actually regressing in achieving the NDP targets, do we double down and insist on failing our policies? Or do we go back to the drawing board and rethink our approach for Abantu? If our ideology is causing hunger for the masses but extreme wealth for a few, we are callous and indifferent. When told the people don't have bread, Queen Marie Antoinette of France said, "Let them eat cake." Well, we know what happened to her. Her indifference lost her head. In our democracy, the indifference of the majority party in the GNU will lose them their votes and their power. Back to the budget of R500 billion. I hope our department will be able to earn its keep reporting on our progress in the coming year, and they will if we bring reform. Nkosi.